They're all lying on the ground.
I was so disappointed.
Like it was going to be a whole wood forest.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Well,
You mean you've never seen a log of petrified wood?
I've seen petrified wood.
A log.
Yeah. I've been
She meant trees standing up, frozen.
I know. I've been to the petrified forest. She was
log.
saying...
She's got it in her
She's a crystallized sap, huh?
tank. Now some are bigger.
Is that the one you and Rachel were fighting over?
no, Rachel
No,
Rachel
not
has
that
the
one.
big one.
She hasn't got hold of that one.
Rachel
I
won't
have
pick any. So I picked up one. And then Kathy kept low. Before we went, I said, Grandma, you better drop that. I said, drop what? She said, that rock you got in your hand. She knew
You
that
still
I
haven't told them how you broke my dad out of going to dances all the time.
Huh? What?
Show me here's what you want.
How you broke my dad out of going to the dances all the time.
I don't remember.
When he came in after being partying for a week or so and needed more money.
You told him to go to his father?
No, she gave him every penny they had. Every penny they had.
Gave who?
My dad, when he asked you for some money, and you gave him all the money that you had that you were saving up to buy the store and everything. And then he came back a couple of weeks later and Lucy was crying. Why is Lucy crying? He doesn't have any milk. Why doesn't he have any milk? We don't have any money.
That's right.
And since then
And
my
you
dad
poor-
wants a straight and narrow.
Poor Lucio was, in the morning we used to get some cinnamon, the bakery man wanted some cinnamon roll and some milk. And I didn't have any money. So then the Papa Cipriano, his daddy, came over. He says, why is Lucio crying? I says, ask your son. And he said, what do you mean by that? I said, well, ask him. And then Lucio had to tell him. He got the broom after my husband.
Not only that, he got Lucio too. Because Lucio said, you can't hit my daddy. He says, I got broom for you too, kid.
Well, he wanted the money, I gave it to him, you know. She went
All
out
the savings
gambling
they
or
had,
whatever
she
he
just
did
gave him
and lost
everything
every
they
bit
had.
of it.
So he went partying for a couple more weeks.
Where was there to go?
Dances, he'd travel 200-300 miles to go to a dance.
No.
Albuquerque?
He would really do that?
Yep.
Yeah, he loved to dance, and I didn't like it because I was very particular who I danced with. I didn't like to dance
Plus you
with
had
people
babies.
that drink beer or were smelly on the clothes, you know, like that. So I didn't go.
Some of his
But he
friends
loved-
used to drench her with beer because she wouldn't drink it.
No, I went to a party. We went to a New Year's party. We belonged to the Lulacs. It's a club. And so then somebody came over and tried to ask me to drink some beer. I said, I don't drink beer. He said, well, I'm going to pour it over you. And I had to go to his parties because he wanted me to go. So then next day I gave him my suit. Something like the one I came now that I came. And I said, take that to the cleaners. He says, what for? I said, ask your friend. I said, he poured a can of beer over me. He never made me go anymore. That was the last party I went with him.
Yes. Those men were party men.
But my mother used to call up. He said, is Lucio going to the dance? My mother was already 87. I said, to a wedding day? I said, yeah. Well, tell him to come and pick me up.
Grandma would go too.
Yeah, she went to the dance with my husband. And they used to tell me, we saw the girls in the store. We saw Lucio dancing with the girls. I said, well, what do you want him to dance with, old people? I didn't mind it. He was happy. He was content. Oh, one of the
I'd have
times.
beat the crap out of you,
One of the times, my father was drunk. And he went over to the dance and
I wouldn't be so nice.
and trying to bring Lucio home, you know. What business did he have leaving me home and he was drunk? But somebody else got hold of him because he was going to strangle my husband. My own.
What happened to Eddie's jeans? Eddie doesn't like to dance. What happened to Grandpa Lucio's jeans? How come Eddie didn't get any?
It's not because I didn't like to dance.
I have to use pliers to get him out to go dance with me.
Oh, you got a pillowcase on there?
Huh?
Used to ride?
Grandma, I want a bimburo. I want a bimburo, Grandma. He was going to tie Grandma to the stove so I didn't have to go home. I could make him the
He was going to
Chain
her
you.
to the stove.
Yeah.
She used to tell her, Grandma, look, he'd say to me, let's go get Grandma. We'll chain her to the stove and she can make me tortillas.
Yeah.
Eddie Panzon, the little fat boy.
I wasn't that old. I didn't know better.
Yeah. I love my grandma so much I'm gonna chain her to a kitchen appliance.
Yeah, well, that iron back there, I think that's the one she used to always make them on. That one that I have.
Well, when I was going to Mexico with some friends of mine, I went over to Lynn and I said, Lynn, will you wait to have Christopher? She said, heck no, she said, I can't wait to have this. Because she was very big. She said, I can't wait, she said. So when I came back to Colebrook, Pat said, you should go home, she said, with Lynn, she said, because she already had her baby. And then the kid said, why did you have to come, Grandma? My daddy was taking us out to eat every day. They weren't too happy to see me.
Grandma was mean, huh?
Yep. One night when she was staying with us, we were all playing around because he was at the hospital, and we wouldn't go to bed. And she came down the hallway cracking a belt, saying, "Go to bed or I'll spank you." And we didn't believe that she could ever say that to us, so we ran into the bedrooms. We were scared.
And another time that Lynn was over with her mother when he was sick in Connecticut.
Yep.
They told him that I was going. They washed all their pants and they had them hung all over the fence from one end to the other.
Oh yeah, we had like 30 pairs of pants hanging all over the backyard.
My
'Cause
neighbor thought I was moving. She
we
thought I was having a garage.
We overflowed the dryer and I think it burned out. We put like 90 pounds of...
Fixed when I got home.
And then when
And I never heard about it until my neighbor told me. She said,
And then when I was over there, I told him, okay, I said, before you go to school, your beds better be made, cleaned up, and the clothes better be in the washing room. And they did it. No trouble.
You
And I
scared
said,
them.
you can't have your friends come into your room or go anywhere. That room has to be picked up. Everything. And she said, how come they don't do it to me? But they did. Another time, what happened, Lucille? They weren't supposed to go somewhere or what? And Deborah went out there, they were cleaning the swimming pool. And Deborah went out there to tease the boys. They threw her in the swimming pool. So she comes in all drenched in water, and to clean up. But anyway, when Lucille came, I told him, I said, tell your daddy what happened. And then Denny says, I'm glad I wasn't. Oh, he wasn't supposed to be with his friends. He was supposed to come home. He said, so he got all of them. But Eddie had gone to his friends and he was going to say, I'm glad I wasn't here, but he still got to think.
Was that you? You'd gone to your friends so you didn't throw her in, or was that Danny?
I don't know.
You just remember getting spanked and that was good enough?
Mind him up, touch your toes.
No, he didn't have a belt. He had some kind of a board. What was it?
He had a long board with nails in it, Grandma.
Oh, he did have those nails.
Board of Education.
But one of the times I remember that when they were all in school, the teachers called in to go bring Eddie home. The teacher had gone out, and Eddie was on top of the desk, clowning around and had all the... So she had to bring him home.
Well, when my mom was gone and Grandma was staying there, the teachers would call her and they'd say, "Is Mrs. Ceballos there?" And she'd say, "Yes, I'm Mrs. Ceballos." And then they'd say, "Well, your boy was doing this at school or whatever." And she'd say, "My children aren't in school anymore," and hang up on them. And that went on for like 4 weeks, and they went crazy because they couldn't figure out what was going on.
Eddie, you gotta come out here and shut this hose off.
Okay, I'll come shut it off.
Right, your mother and
That-
I'll